Do you ever wonder how our attachment patterns influence the way we regulate our emotions? Attachment theory, proposed by British psychologist John Bowlby, stands as one of the most influential frameworks for understanding human relationships. The theory suggests that human infants are extraordinarily vulnerable and dependent. Due to their other dependence, the infants will do everything they can to attach to caregivers. How appropriately caregivers respond is vital in shaping the type of strategies that the baby uses to attach. Attachment theory suggests that early strategies with the caregivers lay the groundwork for the development of secure or insecure attachment styles, profoundly influencing our capacity for emotional regulations and interpersonal dynamics throughout our lives. The default attachment strategy for an infant is to be close to a caregiver. Many caregivers naturally respond well enough to an infant's need. As a result, the infant begins to experience the caregiver as a safe haven when he is frightened, or a secure base that allows him to explore his curiosity around his surroundings. If the default attachment strategy works well consistently, the infant begins to develop secure attachment. We will take a look at Dylan to demonstrate the development of secure attachment. Dylan doesn't have to do much to adapt to his caregiver. His mom is generally receptive to the whole range of Dylan's experiences and attempts to learn what he feels, wants, and believes. When Dylan cries as an infant, his mom recognizes and helps him manage his emotions. Through these back and forth interactions, Dylan soon becomes to internalize that his caregiver as reliable and connection with others can be a source of comfort and pleasure. This sense of security in a relationship becomes a basis for secure attachment. Furthermore, Dylan gradually notices that certain emotions elicit a certain response from his mom. When he smiles, his mom also smiles. When he cries, she shows concerns and helps him. This frequent mirroring experience in secure attachments teaches Dylan the capacity to be aware of different emotions and how working through different ones can be a satisfying experience for both himself and others. In a way, through secure attachment with early caregivers, Dylan learns ways to regulate his emotions without the need to suppress or the fear of being overwhelmed. When he gets older, Dylan finds intimate relationships overall satisfying. His partner and he are mutually supportive during times of difficulty and be able to navigate conflict without being overwhelmed. In the next three examples, we'll explore what happens in three common insecure attachment styles: avoidant, anxious ambivalent, and disorganized. Insecure attachments occur when secure attachment fails to establish. This typically occurs in response to the caregiver's limitations in responding appropriately to the infant's distress. The reason why caregivers fail to respond can be many and beyond the scope of this video, but may contain caregivers' own unprocessed needs, the mismatch between the caregivers and the infants, intergenerational traumas, and socio-political economical factors. For the first scenario, let's take a look at a toddler named Jackie to illustrate an avoidant attachment style. Whenever Jackie feels overwhelmed and attempts to get close to her mom provides minimal physical affection in response by brushing off Jackie's distress. As a result, not only Jackie's distress continued, but also she experienced additional vulnerability from expressing her needs for emotional and physical intimacy. Over time, Jackie learns not to show her emotions and abandons her desire for intimacy. This strategy allows Jackie to keep herself safe by shutting down her emotional needs for intimate relationships. This is the defining characteristic of the avoidant attachment style. In later life, Jackie may be self-reliant but struggles with capacity for deep feelings, sexual expression, and healthy dependency. Put differently, Jackie overregulates her emotions by denying her needs for relationships and feelings. In the following scenario, we have Brad to discuss an anxious, ambivalent attachment style. With Brad, his parents are inconsistent in their response to his need. They may be loving and attentive at times, but neglectful or unavailable at other times. In response to the unpredictability, Brad becomes anxious and preoccupied with getting parental attention. He learns that by exaggerating his emotional distress, he has a higher chance of getting his parents' attention. In fact, he may be fearful of being independent, as it may risk not receiving attention or care. In contrast to Jackie's avoidant attachment style, Brad becomes obsessed with relationships and intimacy. This strategy is the hallmark of the ambivalent, anxious attachment style. As a result, later in life, Brad may experience worthlessness if he is not in a relationship. While in a relationship, he frequently experiences explosive mood swings at the slight of abandonment. But ironically, this very preoccupation tends to drive partners away. In contrast to Jackie, who overregulates her emotions, Brad, with an anxious, ambivalent attachment style, underregulates his emotions. In an extreme case where the parents are straight-out abusive, the child may be so traumatized that he may not come up with an adaptive attachment strategy at all. For instance, John may run crying to his parents for comfort, but quickly becomes scared and turn his back on them. In a way, John wants his parents' attention, but is also scared of being harmed by them. He constantly lives in these contradictory impulses of yearning and fear, and as a result, is unable to develop an adaptive attachment strategy. This breakdown of strategy is commonly seen in those with disorganized attachment styles. Later in life, John constantly feels confused about his inner feelings and needs, and is prone to engage in risky behaviors such as substance use, compulsive eating, or sex to cope with overwhelming emotions. In summary, secure attachment serves as the foundation for being comfortable with our emotions and needs. When we learn to feel, we become more alive and connected. In contrast, insecure attachment styles operate to suppress or overwhelm our emotions. Overall, we can look at attachment strategy on a spectrum. On the one side, we have Jackie with an avoidant attachment, who shuts down her needs for emotions and human connections. On the other side, we have Brad with the anxious ambivalent attachment, who sacrifices his sense of identity and independence to maintain relationships. In a way, Jackie struggles with feeling numb and empty, while Brad often struggles with controlling his mood swings. Therefore, our attachment styles can have consequences enduring to adulthood, affecting emotional regulations, relationships, and our perception of inherent worth. Luckily, our attachment patterns are malleable to some extent and can be changed slowly through therapy and positive relationship experiences, such as belonging to a supportive group of friends or being with a loving partner. Through healing our attachment traumas, we may begin to reclaim part of ourselves abandoned as a child, and ultimately experience life a little bit fuller each day.
Okay, that's good enough for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this topic helpful, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to see more topics in our future videos. Also, let us know in the comment section below if you have any questions or if there are any specific topics you'd like us to cover. And as always, Have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.